Time for a studio update. As you can see, the walls have gone up. This is going to be the essential background of pretty much all of my videos going forward. This is going to be filmed at a desk here with the rack over here for when I do testing of network equipment, etc. I'll be able to just reach over, plug things in, and have it set on the desk for me to be able to do a review. This will enable me to get my videos out faster because I won't be setting up and tearing down a recording studio-like environment every time I need to go and make a video. I'm going to have this dedicated space with a nice backdrop. I got to figure out something to do with this door over here. That's the water heater. So obviously you got to keep that covered. But today I want to talk about the key element in a recording studio such as this is the desk. This is the FlexiSpot E7 Pro L-shaped sit stand desk. And I'm very grateful to FlexiSpot for actually sponsoring this video and sending this over. I reached out to them because I'm a huge fan of their products. They look amazing, and I knew that I really wanted to have one here, especially for this to be my setup for all of my videos going forward. The ability to have sit stand where I can do videos standing like I am now, or sitting in my traditional format is really helpful. That being said, it's also a tech product because it has all of the technology for the sit stand capabilities. It has multiple memory presets, etc. So I'm going to treat this like a tech review. Now when they ship you the box, in my case it came in 3 boxes because it is an L-shaped desk. So you've got, I believe this is the legs, and there's another box with more leg equipment on the floor, and then this is going to be the 2 pieces that is the top of the desk. As you see, it's an L shape. The way that we're going to configure it today is that we're going to have the long side of the L is going to be on this side, which is going to be in front of the server rack, and that'll enable me to put other things that I'm reviewing, products, etc. on the desk next to me, and then the long way will come out over here, which gives me a nice walkway space to come over here and get behind the desk. Then after that is all done, we have the final camera and tripod setup as well as the lighting array setup, and then dialing in all the colors so that this looks really good. Right now I've got a spotlight over my head. It's very bright. This does not do good things to your skin when you are recording something like this and you don't have all of the actual lighting setup that you would normally have in a regular studio environment. But that's the ceiling light, and that's on because, hey, I need to be able to see what I'm doing. So let's cue the assembly montage. Here we go. I'm gonna be careful opening it with the knife, of course. Pre-installation guide: install on carpet to prevent scratches. Check. Phillips screwdriver or drill required, not provided. And get a friend for help. Well, I don't have any friends and my wife is at work, so I'm gonna do it solo. Next, accessory package. Control panel over here, very nice. This is the power supply and control mechanism. You get power in on this end, and you have several outputs on this end. This is some really solid steel. Very nice. Well built. Heavy as hell, too. Feet. All right, this did take a little bit of figuring because the way the instructions are set up here, it depends on the top of the desk that you are getting as opposed to being specific for the one that I ordered, because you can mix and match on the site, and these are kind of one size fits all. So because I have the L shape here, what I needed to do is to, in my head, remember first which side I wanted the longer part of the desk to be on. Now I want it to be up against the wall here, and I want to have the open side over on this side so that I'm free to walk out and around the desk and back in again and have freedom of movement on that side, which is where my storage is, my cabinets, etc., as opposed to on this side where it's a wall and it'd be cramped with the rack over here behind me. So in doing so, and let's hope I did this right, I put down the longer side on the left side and the wider on the top. And what I'm going to do here is then flip the whole thing over. So you'll have the long version, the long part of it, and the wide, or I guess this is depends on your terminology here. The widest part of the desk is with the two of them combined. So that's going to be the one in the front, and then you've got the piece that is coming off the side here, and you're going to want to basically take that and then flip the whole thing over, which would then leave us with the L, the bottom of the L, so to speak, over on this side, and then this side will be totally open. The other thing to note is that these brackets move. They get wider and shorter as you line them up. Make sure that you line them up with the holes on the right side of the desktops so that you have all of the mounting holes in place. There are a ton of holes that are drilled on this, but it's going to depend on your configuration. There's also additional holes for the wire guides, which we're going to be doing, showing off later as we get that set up. And I have been using my handy dandy Milwaukee drill over here to gently and carefully drill in all of the screws. Not there yet, but because it was while I still had this fresh in the memory and I have to go handle bedtime with the kids, and I wanted to get it out before I went, and I did that. Now, one of the key things that I want to point out, now that the desk is complete, is how stable it is. I have here the hex bit that I used to put this desk together. Now, if you'll look, and you know what, let me actually film this. Let's record how wobbly this becomes when you give the table a good shake. Okay, real solid bump there. However, once this stops wiggling, I want to show you how steady this desk is when going from the lowest position all the way up to the highest position. Here we go. As you can see, it is steady as a rock. And this is incredible given that it is going up to, what is this, 5 feet high? Total height here? Where'd the camera go? Hello down there. Didn't see you there. Come here often. Anyway, what's remarkable is how high this desk actually gets and how solid it is with no wobble as the desk goes up and down and adjusts in height. This is excellent because a desk this size, A, you're going to be holding a lot of stuff on it, B, you're going to be having likely multiple monitors, especially if you're me, multiple monitors on the desk, all hooked up, and you don't really want it messing with your setup. And so that's why this is fantastic for that, because it is rock solid. You've got a leg here, you've got a leg here, and then there's a third leg here holding the whole thing up and together. Now, I, of course, can just go under here because that's like, what, 5 feet? Let me go get the tape measure. We're looking at a max height of 51.5 inches here. That's basically almost 4.5 feet tall. Honestly, I'm a big guy. I'm on my knees, and I can pretty much almost fit underneath this. Going down, you just press the memory button, and the whole thing goes back to the first position that I set it in. I'm gonna grab my little bit there so that I don't lose it. I have to get my chair set up, but now I have the desk beautifully set up in front of me, and this is going to be the recording studio setup for my studio going forward. So thank you, FlexiSpot, for setting this over. All right, now I haven't had a chance to move all of my monitors over here yet because I'm only just setting this up now, and I still got to tweak it and move it into the edge of the room. But first I want to show you something that is really wild. And this is something that gets shown in all of these videos, is showing how much it can lift. So the best way to do that is to put a bunch of stuff on the desk and yourself. So let's turn on Active Track. Okay, so now you can see me. And here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to lower it down. Down, 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 down. Okay, you can see how low it's getting, right? I am practically sitting on the floor. It is all the way down. Now what I'm going to do is come over here and I'm going to hit the preset that I set that is all the way up, and let's go for a ride. Going up, and more up, and still up, and I'm getting close to the ceiling. 39, 40, 42, 43, 45, 47, 49, slowing down, 50.6, 50.6. Oh, it lost me. I'm up here. Hello! Can you see me? This is wild. Sitting up, that was a fun ride. Sitting up here, I don't think I could work this way. If I would have to be very, very tall in order to work that way. Perhaps somebody who works like this has a pull-out drawer that brings the keyboard and mouse closer down to them. How am I going to get down? Uah. Hello? All right, let's lower this down a little bit because the camera can't find me. There it is. Okay, yes, we're back. It worked. Okay. That's always a lot of fun. I am a pretty big guy. Let's just leave it at I am over 200 pounds, and I've got my laptop and iPad and keyboard and mouse. Obviously, those don't weigh very much. I could throw some more stuff on here. Perhaps we'll do another test in a little bit. I would say that the comfortable position for me to work with this, if I were standing, like so, would probably be here. I think the general accepted height is about so that your elbows are at a 90 degree, just like you were sitting in a chair as you were typing, and this is almost that. And that way it's the correct ergonomic support for you. And you know, honestly, my main desk isn't a sit-stand desk, and I might have to make this my main desk because this is really nice. Let's see, this is now 42.3 inches high. Just to give you some of the details here, this is a extra large L-shaped desktop. It has a variety of material options that you can use on the top, whether it's chipboard or bamboo, etc. And like I said before, sometimes you can just have the one side for a shorter desktop, or if you want a much larger L-shaped desktop like this one, E7L, then you have the two top desktop panels and they fit together very nicely. It's a three-leg design, so it's extremely sturdy as you saw from lifting me, and it's extremely stable as you saw from my test with the hex bit that I used to put this all together. Now, my wife has a sit-stand desk from Uplift, and it does not go quite this high. I believe that their max rating is 50.1, whereas this is 50.6, although honestly, you'd have to be really, really tall in order for that to make a difference. All right, let's go over some of the features that I like most about this desk. Directly underneath, which I'll take some B-roll footage here, is a wire tray, which takes all of the cables, all of the wiring that you have running underneath the desk to control the motors of the legs, and it puts them inside what looks like inside the brace that is attached to the table, so you really are basically not able to see them at all. There is a little bit over on one side and a little bit over on the edge, but with a little bit of Velcro, you'll be able to hide those away and make sure that they all fit nicely inside the cable, nicely inside the tray. Additionally, we have over here, this is a nice wiring tray. This actually pops off. So essentially what you do is you place your power brick, your dock power brick, and you can, because this has slots in the middle, you bring your Velcro through and you're able to mount them down directly onto here. And that way you have all of your power and all of your connections laid out here directly under the desk, and you don't have to be concerned, A, when it is going up and down for sit-stand mode, and B, that you don't have to have it disorganized or running all over the place. It can all run back to this central place, and then you can also have your monitors, your screens, etc. mounted onto the back of the desk with a monitor arm, so that you are able to have a bit more space on the desk, because this is not as deep as some of the other desks that I've used in the past, but especially if you have your monitors mounted on it, it's plenty of space, as you can see here, for all of your peripherals. The other thing that I love is on the other side here, the single power cord that powers everything runs along the inside channels and then just pops out the bottom side over here, so that it is loose, so that when you go up and down on the desk, or when you lift the desk up, or when you lift or lower the desk, you don't have to worry about this cable over here in the corner getting snagged on anything. That's mainly the only cable that you have going. Now, you are theoretically going to have things like your Ethernet cable or additional power cable, and what you can do with those is you can just run them along the same cord, bundle them together, and that'll keep it clean and secure. One of the other things I love about this, and I'll include B-roll in a moment, is how easy and simple it is to use the keypad as far as setting memory positions for sit, stand, and then 1 and 2. You have two additional positions that you can set it up. Say if you are sharing a desk with a spouse or a partner, you will be able to set it that way, and very simply, you just tap on the button once and it begins lowering down into the position that you want it to, and then when you're done with that, you hit the button again and it'll rise into the other precise position that you left it in on the other side. Now you may be wondering, why did I choose an L-shaped sit-stand desk from FlexiSpot as opposed to the workbench that I had from Home Depot that I was using for all of my previous videos? And the answer is, honestly, the thing that I've been missing most, and the thing that has bugged me the most about my previous setup, is I'm always running out of space. I may be reviewing network products that require to go into the rack if I want to bring the rack onto my desk. If I'm using a smaller desk, that's it, it's gone. If I'm installing a smaller device in a mini rack, for example, or reviewing a computer and I want to have a monitor over here, I have all of this extra space now for which I can stand, and I can show you the different benefits and different features of the product that I'm reviewing. In the past, I was always moving things around and trying to figure out, okay, well, how can I position this here where I'll still be in the frame but still close to show you what's going on, and then the next thing you know, I'm completely off camera and there's no room for anything else because I'm on packaging and this and that. It's a lot of stuff. Now, if I want to review something in the rack, I can either leave the rack here or I can bring the rack forward, place it here, and look at this. I still have room for my computer, room for the peripherals, room for the cables, room for a top-down camera if I wanted. I have a lot of room to grow, and that is absolutely fantastic. Now, most other office setups, you would look at this and think, oh, okay, I'm going to position my monitors over here, and I've got my keyboard and mouse here, or even sit angled into the corner like so, and then you have a lot of extra space for your notebooks, or iPad in my case, or laptop, as I have here, as well as anything else that you need for, doing your job, like a good cup of coffee, for example. In my case, my goal is to keep this desk as clean as possible, because every time I film, every time I'm working on something, another big impediment for me is the fact that, well, I'll sit down to film and there's crap all over the desk, because I have ADHD and organization is a daily challenge for me. If this desk is never covered in anything, that also allows me to sit down right away, hit record behind the desk, and I can record my video without having to worry about first cleaning it off. If you're on the website, then the desktop size you're going to choose for this exact layout is the regular 71 inch by 48 inch by 24. So again, that's 71 fully across, 48 in the L side of it, and 24 for the regular width of the desk here. There is a smaller size if you want to have a more narrower full desk, and the top here that I'm using is the chipboard in the color black with the frame black. Why? Well, my background is white, and so it looks really nice to have a nice black desk, and then it's also really good to film things on there. I haven't decided if I'm going to leave this wall white. I might put some black sound tiles panels on there, or maybe just in the corner here. I don't know. I'm still tweaking it, dialing it in, figuring out exactly how it's going to look. But I really like being able to decide when I'm recording if I want to be sitting or standing, or maybe transition in the middle. I have no problem doing that on this desk, and that is why I'm very excited for this to be my studio desk going forward. If you take a look at the website, you'll see they're having an excellent Independence Day sale right now on the E7, as well as lots of other options on their website. As you probably saw a moment ago, you can use my code. That's YTE7P50. I'll leave a copy of that down below, as well as a link, and you can get an extra $50 off the E7 Plus standing desk, and take a look at all of the other discounts that they have on their website here. If you head over to the Independence Day sale, you'll see that they're having up to 65% off. You can get just the standing desk without the L shape for less than $300, and I think that is an excellent deal. Of course, you've got Linus Sebastian on the front page there from Linus Tech Tips. He's a legend. I think next I might have to get them to send me a chair. My Secretlab chair is getting a little long in the tooth and completely worn out. If you have any questions or comments about this desk or my setup, please drop them down below. I do try to read all of my comments and respond to as many as I can. Thank you once again to FlexiSpot for sponsoring this video and the channel. Please go and check them out. And if this was helpful for you, I'd appreciate it if you left a note on your order saying that you heard about it from Tab Geeks. I will, of course, leave a link to the desk and all equipment that I used in this video down below, and as always, thanks for watching.